October 28th, 2025. It is the Beating the Book podcast MegaPod for week 9 in the National Football League. It's Gill Alexander, live from our Sirius XM studios at the Wynn Las Vegas, our swanky studios where we're in a fishbowl, and they're all searching, they're all looking at us, and they're like, who's that girl? Is she someone famous? Who is that? We'll get to our guest here momentarily. First, the pillars of the show from their locations. Todd Wishnev from his mom's cork attic in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. How you doing, Toddy?
Hey, what's up, Gilly? I'll tell you, I'm in a good mood. I'll tell you why. Because the Miami Dolphins, they kicked Gill's ass, and they kicked a guy named Willie's ass, too. They thought they were going to get an easy win with the Atlanta Falcons, but they got beat so quickly in the first quarter, they had no hope at all.
Though we went 1-2 and gained ground on you. We should point that out also, which we'll get to early.
With cheating by shots.
That did not happen. There was no cheating. Todd Wishnev, T. Wishnev, the star of Showtime docuseries Action, available at Showtime still to this day if you just key in Action, I guess. Todd plucked from a crowd. That's how unbelievable he is. And then there's Will Hill, the host of the Shoulda Bet More podcast, at not the Will Hill. That's 2 E's on the. And, of course, the star of not only this podcast, but Bear Bets, Chris Felica's Bear Bets podcast empire at Fox Sports. Willie, let's go. Let's catch this guy.
Yeah, and that was, I guess, a good way to lose Survivor, my last one with the Falcons. I think at like 1:03 Eastern, this is in a lot of trouble with Mr. Curtis Cousins, as Todd likes to call him. Yeah, it's a little weird doing this on a Tuesday, but the way this year is gone, we could use a little mix up. I love how Todd tried to butter Aaron's shots up. You're the best since this. You're the greatest. All of these compliments, and Aaron still stuck it to him with that half a point.
Still stuck with the total. And what game was that on the total?
Houston.
41 on the Houston Niners. It was 41.5 everywhere, but Shots just wanted to take the oppo side, so he went with his DVOA. Back in 1939, the line was 41, and clearly it should be 41.
Yeah. Well, he comes from a long line of truth tellers and adjudicators, I believe is what you uncovered.
No, I said long line of rabbis, not exactly. Try again. They were with the gold changers back in the old days. You might have heard of them.
Our rotating guest on the show is lovely to come on for the second straight year. In fact, MegaPod historian Tim Lawson, who has been doing this in honor of the 15th anniversary of the MegaPod, shares with us that this is Stormy Buonantony's second appearance on the NFL MegaPod. Her first was last year, week 13. Stormy shared her experiences with interviewing coaches during games and the balance of asking tough questions while maintaining good relationships. I do remember that. And he says, when Stormy made her debut, this is really offensive to me. When Stormy made her debut, listeners wondered if she was the first woman to ever appear on the MegaPod. Wow. And he says she is actually the fourth. Thank you very much.
Who are the other
Previously on the NFL MegaPod, Kelly in Vegas in 2012. Oh, she's been nothing but nice to me since. Anita Marks, 2014. Oh, she's something. And Bethany Porras was on in 2020. Remember her? Stormy looking to build off her strong MegaPod performance.
You seem to have a problem with ladies. You seem to have a problem with the ladies. Maybe it's a you thing.
Well, a problem with them.
No,
Stormy was 2-1 when she was on last year. Stormy Buonantony in studio, the host, the way I should say, of Money Moves at VSiN, which she does Monday through Friday. That's at 12 noon. No, that would be at 11 a.m. Pacific. That's 2 p.m. Eastern. Monday through Friday, which she does with Jonathan Von Tobel. And of course, she's on the sidelines with ESPN's college football.
You're bearing the lead. She's also on Sunday afternoon, the last hour before 1 o'clock games start. And if you're driving down to the casino and you turn on channel 158, you can hear Stormy with Derek Stevens. And they're going, well, do you see the 2.5? So it looks like 2.5s everywhere. Hey, Jonathan Von Tobel. Hey, what do you think? Well, it looks like 3 to me, but I'm not sure. Derek, what are you seeing?
Shaded to the 4. Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yes, that is what we do. But we do the countdown to kickoff show on Sunday. So I do my college football game on Saturday. Hop on whatever flight I can to get me back to Vegas as early as possible for the Sunday show. That's always a blast. But yeah, you nailed it. You hit everything. And I feel very honored that in terms of the historical purposes, first repeat female. So there we go.
Wow.
She might be the first.
Let's go.
Female.
I want to point out, I suggested Stormy. Todd vigorously objected, but she turned out to be a great guest. So
it sounds like something I would do.
I believe Todd's words were, "I don't like blonde girls." I believe, is that what he said?
I
Yeah.
always say that. I typically say that all the time.
I don't like singers, so there you go.
By the way, Stormy, if you believe what these two clowns are saying, just look at their records, because you know that they're not exactly from the most truthful people.
Oh,
Wow.
what is that supposed to mean?
what do you-
Wow.
Meaning, I never said anything about not having you on. I never said anything like that. Will likes to make up lies. And anyways, I'll tell you one thing about Stormy. She is not your regular sideline reporter. Typically, if you watch football games, and I only watch maybe upward of 500 a week, the sideline reporter is usually gets thrown down to, and they walk up to the coach and ask a completely inane question like, well, Kirby, what'd you have for dinner? And was it something that clearly made the defense able to rotate against the screenplay? You know, just horrible questions. But with Stormy, they actually throw it to her during the game to be almost as like a third person in the booth. And I enjoy that when that guy, I forget what the guy's name was, who threw it down. He goes, Stormy, what do you think of that? And they're letting Stormy like be a color person rather than just asking inane sideline questions. I enjoyed it.
Isn't that true to some extent, that they do give you a little more liberty?
I still do have to ask the questions in game, but yes, my crew's great. They really think of me as an extra voice. You know how some sideline reporters, it's kind of like, I don't know if this is the greatest verbalization of it, but it feels like it's an appendage to the broadcast instead of it being a seamless conversation. And I really appreciate Dave Fleming. Yeah, Todd, that's more of
the guy.
Dave
Fleming.
Honestly, than to me. Yes, I think he does a great job of incorporating me in the conversation.
Well, he loves you, as we've established. He loves you. Now, I ask you some version of this every year, and I know you don't want to answer it, so I'm going to try it again, and maybe I'll finesse an answer, which is, I usually say, if you could only have one of these to do, what would you do? But honestly, is this exactly what you'd like it to be moving forward? Would you like to do a regular weekly show, maybe about sports betting, maybe not? Right now it's about sports betting. I assume you grew up somewhat in sports betting culture. I know that from your family. Would you like that, doing both things, or is there some other version of this that you'd like to do ideally?
That's a great question.
Thank
I'm
you.
not 100% sure, because I do like the balance of what I do now. Like, I love the opportunity to travel every week, go to new venues and schools that I've never seen before, states that I haven't been to, different things like that. It's fun.
Todd.
And talk to Todd.
Yeah.
Live.
I'll be
games.
honest, Beth Mowens, I'll do a Stormy Beth Mowens switch out right now on
Do it.
every single Beth
What?
Mowens.
Oh, stop.
Oh, come on, Beth Mowens. She has to talk very in a masculine voice, and I don't appreciate it. Suck it in, Ted.
Honestly, so I have had to train my voice to get deeper. I would kill for a voice like Beth Mowens. My
please
voice
no.
nails on a
Stormy,
chalkboard.
Stormy,
no.
please don't
No.
ever do that. I swear to God,
Don't
if
say
I
that.
hear Beth Mowens say 3rd and 10 one more time, sounds like, oh
Beth
my
is a
God.
legend, Todd. Come on. She's
Okay.
a trailblazer.
She really
Oh.
is.
Could you just let Stormy finish the answer? I don't know if you finished the answer, but
No, I love what I'm doing right now. I'm
Yeah.
very grateful for the opportunity. I mean, live hockey, especially now that I've had the opportunity to add that at
that's
ESPN,
your favorite sport.
Their in person is not another sport better, in my opinion. The hard hitting nature of it, how fast it is. I don't think that hockey players get nearly enough respect for the toughness they have and how hard it is to actually play and do what they do on skates. Is ridiculous. So I love that. It's so much fun. But this is so fun too. And I think the one thing about hosting a betting show that is hard is the pressure of winning for the people that are listening, and you want to make sure that you're giving out good stuff to people all the time. Maybe talk radio would be a little bit easier every now and then versus that.
You know what? We don't often verbalize that, but I say that a lot. It's like I don't think there's anything quite as difficult as juggling all the things on a sports betting show. But when you say that, you sound like, oh, of course you say that. You might want to be sort of self.
Can I ask Stormy something real quick? Because I think it's timely. It's time. I don't know. Well timed. In a week where injury report honesty is at center stage of the sports world with the NBA, Lamar Jackson, Stormy's game on Saturday, and we were tracking this, Gilly.
Yes.
The starting quarterback, Dan Pierre, went from probable like an hour before the game to off the injury report. All right, he's off the injury report. He's going to play. All of a sudden, as Steve Fezzik says, what's this? The third string is going to start all within 20 minutes, and then it didn't matter. They got absolutely destroyed. Utah is still scoring. What was that like to cover? I guess I'll just like, what did you know and when did you know? What was that like?
I think frustrating is probably a good word for it. And I'm sure a lot of people that were betting the game and were curious about Devin Dampier's status felt the same. Because you're dead on. When you look at the injury report and you know Devin Dampier's dealing with an injury, he didn't practice until I think Thursday, and even then it was very little. And it's very similar to what happened to him earlier in the season before their game against Texas Tech, where he wasn't on the injury report at all, mind you. And then you find out after the game that he was dealing with an ankle injury throughout the week. So you're excited that at least Dampier's on the injury report this time to get a feel for it. So Thursday, he's questionable. Friday, he's upgraded to probable. And then Saturday, as Will said, the hour and a half before kickoff, he's off the injury report. So inevitably, what does that lead you to believe?
Right.
That he's fine and he's going to go and he's going to play. Yet I'm watching warmups and his ankles aren't taped. And then they start doing first team warmups and the backup Bird Ficklin is taking first team reps with the starting center, Jared Kump. And so I know the answer right there. But then still, Kyle Whittingham has always been very guarded with injury information. And what stinks about this for me is I've covered so much Utah over the years that I had hoped that maybe like I would get a little bit more information.
Because they know you.
Yeah. And we have a good relationship. And so I was a little bit disappointed that when they came out for warmups, Whittingham was like, true game time decision. We don't know. And then you see Bird Ficklin warming up with Jared Kump, so you know the answer.
Oh, they knew.
And I end up getting the confirmation comment from Whittingham with about 30 seconds before I had to go on television to then report that information. So for me, it was a very difficult and like back and forth pregame of I can report what I saw, but it's always going to be better if you actually have the coach tell you what it is. And so, yeah, tough pregame.
Two things about this, and I'll shut up about it. I just want to go quickly, Todd. Didn't the backup wanted more NIL, so he wasn't in the mix, so they went all the way down to the third string?
That? Who told
okay.
I
don't know. I mean, I heard about this Friday night from somebody.
First of all, Bird Ficklin isn't the third string. He's the second string.
Okay.
So
the other thing
that guy's good. From last year, I saw that guy.
He had a 63-yard touchdown run, second play of the game.
Oh, I know. I'm well aware. The other thing is they had Cam Rising questionable for like 2 years without playing. So they've been notorious for.
Yeah,
really? Did you catch what I caught on the broadcast? When they threw it to Stormy, and on her phone you could see like a little text to Chauncey Billups, starting quarterback off. I was surprised. I don't know personally, but that's weird.
Well, here's
to cut you off, but it is frustrating when you have disingenuous injury reports. Yes. They're there for a reason. And he was off it because Kyle Whittingham could say he was going to be available in an emergency situation and he was dressed. And it's unfair.
Can only look bad, I would imagine, in those situations. Like it sets you up for what if you dispense the wrong information, I guess, or if you
Sure. Yeah. So that's why I need to, before I go on television, hear that from him. And I'm glad that he did tell me and he didn't just run past me after they ran out of the field. But
well, here's what happened. Will, you'll correct me if I get any of these details wrong. So while you're dealing with that, we do get, or Will posts a tweet or sends a tweet to our group chat, maybe 10 minutes before game time, 12 minutes, something like that. Oh, that Dampier's not a go, right? He's not going to start. So we make, the associated Colorado bets, whether first half or full game or whatever. And then quickly, like you said, second play, right? And as I texted, this is the most lopsided first half of football you are likely to see on any level of football ever. So I went ahead and left myself open for a middle and started betting the other side because it was so ridiculous that game. But that's the kind of thing, right? We're all scrambling to try to exploit it.
It was Go ahead, 398 total yards to -18 times.
Yes.
You guys did a what we call a premature physiculation, and you might as well just watch a series or two because you know what? Maybe the backup's okay. I always say to Stevie, "He's like, the backup's out. The backup's out. Florida International, quick! The backup's out." I'm like, "Yeah, Stevie, have you seen the other guy play?" "I don't know. The backup's out." It's like, relax. Watch a series or two. Maybe the backup's okay. This is what I complain about all the time with all the talking heads. Oh, in fact, I remember driving down to the casino a couple weeks ago, listening to Stormy and Jonathan Von Tobel talking about how 4 offensive linemen starters are out for the Cowboys, and the line has just moved from 1 to 1.5. And Derek Stevens goes, "Oh my God, that's a huge move. Hey, is that big at our place?" And they go nuts. They're going crazy. And I get down to the casino. I'm watching this game. I'm like, they don't look too bad, these backups,
point. It's a good point.
Yeah,
That did happen. True story.
he makes good points. Don't let him fool you. He makes good points. All right, so I'm sure you're unwilling to tell us who the worst coach is or the rudest coach to you ever is. I'm sure you're not willing to say.
I'll tell you who it is. Luke Fickle.
Nicest to you.
Incorrect.
I haven't seen Fickle in a while, but he's always been nice to us.
He's a jerk when it's 38-6 and he's running up the score.
You know who I love? I really, really adore Mike Elko.
Really?
Yeah. I think he's great.
Mike
We don't
Elko.
care. We want the bad stuff. We don't care about the nice people.
Wait,
Nice
who
people
did she
and
say
the
was
bad
nice?
people.
Elko from A&M.
Mike Elko and Chris
okay.
Kleiman are on my Mount Rushmore of kindness, I would
Nice.
say, in terms of like how well they treat you, whether it's in-game, pre-game. They're very honest in the pre-game conversations. They will give you injury information and that kind of stuff. It's like if you haven't burned them, they're not going to burn you kind of thing.
Have you ever? Okay, last thing. Now, you don't have to say who the worst is, but have you ever had a Saban Maria Taylor moment from anybody?
Yes.
Oh, you have.
Not to that extent, but
what
I
was
have
the moment? Wait, tell us what the moment
I'm
was.
not going to tell you who the coach was specifically because I'm still trying to erase this from my brain in its entirety. But it was a quarter interview, and the team had gotten penalized for the fans that were throwing things onto the field. And it's like, once that's excessive, it's a 15-yard penalty.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was losing his mind. And I just teed up the obvious question to which he was not happy that I asked.
Really?
And it didn't go well.
Oh,
But we
I'm
moved
sorry.
on.
What was
Which
the
coach
Saban
was
Maria
this?
Taylor, though? What was the Saban Maria Taylor?
What was it? What was the?
It was about the quarterback controversy at the time. And he said, I'm not going to say something bad about my players. So stop asking.
and it was a perfectly reasonable
It
question.
was a very reasonable question,
Yeah.
but it's like he had been asked it so much that he was upset about it at that point.
He's
She
like,
handled it pretty well, too.
Maria Taylor asked him.
I'll ask. By the way, I'll give Stormy $1 million if she sees a Tennessee coach next time she sees him, and asks him if it's 56-24, and you get the ball back after the kickoff with 45 seconds left, and at your own 30, instead of taking a knee, you run hurry up, get down to the other team's 15-yard line, throwing it in the end zone, up 56-24. Do you think that is ethical, Mr. Heupel?
Actually, Todd, what I did is I recorded that and I'm going to take it to him on Saturday. So I'm ready.
There's
There we go.
there's two reasons you shouldn't do that. One, probably don't want to get in that situation, and two, Todd doesn't have $1 million to give you in case you do.
Hey, that's
But that's a future
Continuous
million.
reports
That's a
and now disingenuous bets. How dare you, Todd?
Yeah. All right, Todd. The records are what?
Well, let's talk about the records. I tried to bring Gilly back into the thing with a little help this week, but he's 1-2 last week to go to 11-13. Teasers, we still are struggling because the Falcons knocked everybody down. He's 2-6 with the teasers. Our good friend Will the Thrill Hill is now at 6-18.
Oh.
At least he's consistent. He went 1-2 and 4-4 with the teasers. He was on a hot start with the teasers.
Lost 4 in a
I
row
went-
teasers.
What'd you say?
Lost 4 teasers in a row. Started 4-0. Unbelievable.
I went 0-2-1 due to Aaron Schatz screwing me out of 41.5 versus 41 on the total. And I moved to 11-2. First place. Look, sometimes you just have to opponent select. You know, if you don't have your good stuff, you just have to go against 8 and 9 hitters. And that's what I'm doing here with Will and Gilly. I got Gilly hitting 8th and Willie hitting 9th. You don't have to do too much against those kind of hitters. 11-2 for me, 1-7 on my teasers. Can't win a teaser. And our guest chair is 11-12-1 after Aaron Schatz going 1-1-1 and 3-5 on the teaser. So the pressure is on for Stormy to knock it out of the park and have another 2-1 or 3-0.
Okay.
See what we can do.
Dumbo of the week before we get to our best bets. Dumbo of the week. Will, you actually texted these midweek, so it's an easy sort of shorthand for these. There's only 2 candidates. They are, that's not it. Oh, it's Mike McCoy. Let me get the right.
Oh, God.
Mike McCoy of the Titans. He on 4th and 3 from the plus 42 punted at the beginning of the third quarter in the Titans game. Right. And there's just like that team has no business punting in plus territory at this point in the season anyway, in plus territory ever, let alone right as the second half starts. The other one was Kyle Shanahan, down 11 with the Niners, punts with 8 minutes left, 4th and 10. I vote for McCoy.
Yes.
You?
There was a couple Schottenheimer punts in there I didn't love with the way his defense was playing, and that's just an offensively driven team. I forget the particulars, but Shanahan's was bad. Schottenheimer had some bad ones, but McCoy, what are you doing? By the way, the punter wasn't even off the field yet, and Jonathan Taylor is hitting his head on the goalpost on the other side for a touchdown.
That's right. You had 80 yards the next play. That's right. Todd, anyone for you or no?
Can we just give one to Raheem just for the hell of it, because he's Raheem, for
Lifetime
a
Achievement
beautiful
Award?
performance. Yeah, just
Seems like a nice guy though, Todd, right?
he does seem like a nice guy, and I don't have anything bad about to say, except he's completely overmatched as an NFL head coach.
Tennessee was down.
Coordinator, not exactly Bill Walsh either. Robinson, oh my gosh.
Oh, Zach Robinson's the worst. 4th and 3 at the Indianapolis 42, down 10 at the beginning of the third quarter. I will say this gives me and I hope I'm not boring people with this, but a bit of an advanced analytics rant, because we had shots on last week, and going into last week in DVOA, he had Washington 7th and Dallas 9th. Washington 7th and Dallas overall DVOA. You say oy vey, right? So Joe Pete and I were talking about this, how we come from a baseball analytics background. So baseball analytics, like the people who live in that world, they're kind of hoity-toity, but at least like you understand, and there's some nuance to it, and they don't speak in absolutes necessarily, right? There's a run expectancy chart. It's 43% if you have runners on first and third in the 5th inning and you're down 3, whatever. There's a very mechanical sport, and so you understand exact percentages. And they also say, like Moneyball, even though they're like, oh, you shouldn't steal anymore, they allow for, well, you get caught stealing league average at this rate, but if you have Ricky Henderson or Vince Coleman or whoever has a steal rate that's way higher than that, then it's a different calculus. In the NFL, like we talk about these punts, so there's a couple things. One, DVOA is essentially this EPA per play that we all use, expected points added per play. DVOA is just sort of a creative way of incorporating that and him producing his own stat. And the difference with football and baseball is baseball is so precise, but football, and I always talk about this with win probability sometimes too, right? Where it's like, oh, the Saints have a 98% chance of winning this game. And I always said in football, there's too many moving parts to be that precise about it. So I was talking on the radio side this morning about how in the NBA, if you shoot a corner 3 unguarded, it's like an expected point average of 1.5. Because it's like 50% rate on a corner 3 unguarded league wide, easiest 3-pointer. So it's a 1.5 EPA, and it doesn't matter if you're shooting that in clutch time or in the middle of the second quarter. But in the NFL, when it's the same drive, same distance, they do distinguish between whether you do it in the middle of the second quarter, at the end of game, in clutch time. So you have all these funky little readings in EPA that doesn't exist in other sports, where they weight things strangely. And that's why I think we get strange DVOA outputs as well.
But also the stats lie, Gilly. The football stats lie more than any other stats in any other sport. Because if you're up 21-7 late in the third quarter, you're doing something completely different on offense than you would do in the first drive of the game. The other team is losing 21-7. They're doing something completely different. So the lying in the stats is just so, and that's what's great about football betting. Because if there wasn't stats lying, it'd be so much harder to win at football betting. But if you understand the situations, obviously that's, what we're all trying to do on the thread when we're constantly going, hey, would you like this team here, plus 36.5, blah, blah, blah. It all has to do with the circumstances. And that's why the stats lie more than anything in football. And that's, of course, why you can have bad readings like the Commanders 7th. I mean, come on.
Well, also, and the reason it triggered in my brain is because we were talking about these punts in plus territory. The proper way for like a broadcast, if they were doing this correctly, to really convey to the audience whether it's smart to punt there or not is, okay, the color guy goes, oh, I can't believe they're punting. Or we say it here, I can't believe they're punting. But if they knew, like a baseball sabermetrician would know, well, unless they pin that team within the X yard line, then it actually is a plus EV punt, right? And they just don't have data that granular to make it smart. And that's just my rant about football, or Joe Pete and I having this conversation about football analytics. So I do feel like when we talk about this stuff in football, it is just generally imprecise.
There's nothing individual about a football game. There's tons of individual things about basketball and baseball, completely individual in baseball. And like you said, when a guy's standing by himself at the 3-point line, that's an individual action. In football, everything is depending on everybody else. Look
Yeah.
at Daniel Jones. He's on the Giants. He looks terrible. He's on the Colts. All of a sudden, he's great.
Anyway, shout out to Joe Pita, because without him, I never would have even had that conversation. But it's
like it's like the Dwight Schrute thing where he said, "What's his best advice? Don't be an idiot. If an idiot would do that thing, then I don't do it." That's the old line from The Office.
The old line from The Office. Okay,
I've got
Todd,
two good in-gamers.
game thing, real
two quick good in-gamers. The fourth quarters have been so good for these teams getting absolutely hammered. The only one that was bad really was the Chiefs against the Raiders, where the Raiders couldn't get a first down. But the fourth quarters, I've won with the Panthers a couple of times now in the fourth quarter. Last week, they were down 19-3 at Buffalo. If you watched the first half, you said, okay, there's a good chance we're going to be in complete garbage time in the fourth quarter. And I grabbed Carolina plus 1.5, minus 138. By the way, you love getting the 1.5 because, of course, oftentimes these teams that get the backdoor touchdown go for 2. And if you lose the fourth quarter 7-6, when each team gets a touchdown, the fact that you're getting the 1.5 saves you a lot. So that plus, if you can get that plus 1.5 in the fourth quarter. Now, in this particular case, the score was 40-3 going to the fourth quarter. So I knew I was in great shape because I didn't think the Bills were going to score anymore. And then, of course, Carolina just got a touchdown for, one for the, just to throw it up on top. And so that was an easy one. Then the other one, which was kicking me the whole time because I'm sitting in the book, it's the Titans are down 38-7. And I'm sitting in the book with the guys and I'm saying to them, they're going to score in the fourth quarter here, guys. There is just no doubt they're going to do it. And they're like, well, and I didn't want to bet it. And they get all the way down to the 7-yard line. They don't get in. And then they get the ball back a second time. They're at midfield, 2nd and 10, plus 30.5, plus 200. And I'm like, oh my God, I know this is the right thing to do. I should just do it already, And of course I don't do it. And of course they go down and they get the backdoor touchdown, 38-14. But I'm telling you guys, you got to pay, especially when you have teams that don't have great defenses. The Buffalo Bills have a terrible defense. Carolina's getting a touchdown if they're down 40-3. It's the same thing, if the Bengals are up huge or any of these teams with terrible defenses, the Cowboys, there's going to be backdoor touchdowns in that fourth quarter. And if you can get fourth quarter plus points, especially plus 1.5, and you can get it early enough, it's a really good bet.
Todd, where do people sign up for your college basketball stuff again?
You can go to my Twitter is @TWishnev. Send me a direct message. Install WhatsApp on your phone and send.
You don't
me
need
your
the WhatsApp
phone
thing,
number.
right? You said you don't need the WhatsApp thing. It's optional.
No, you need. Well, see, Willie just does this. He just loves to give me the business because he can't take the fact that I'm beating him here on the MegaPod. So he tells Stormy that I said I didn't want her on the show, which is of course lies. And of course now the second lie, that you don't need WhatsApp. You need to install WhatsApp on your phone and send me your phone number and direct message. I will put you on. And we are only days away, folks, of college basketball, my best in-game sport. My friend Gilly here can testify that it is the most fun. Most years we have 2,000 bets of in-game basketball, sometimes 35 on a Saturday. Get your Bucknell out, get your Eastern Illinois, get your Eastern Kentucky. It doesn't matter who it is. Merrimack, you can bet Merrimack. It doesn't matter. It's more fun than anything in the world. First half over 72.5. Get it now.
Well, it's not like fun. You're good at it.
Just the late game stuff where we play the unders when it's close and try to avoid overtime, then flip out when it goes to overtime.
I'm done with that crap. You know what? I'm done with getting screwed with the keisterization in the overtime. It's like a 1-point game, 9 seconds left. We have a definite winner. Oh, whoops, foul. Oh, guy goes to the line, makes 1 of 2. Overtime, you lose.
Overtime. I gotta share this. Did you guys see this text from Bear? And I was talking with you guys earlier that I like Ohtani under hits because they could walk him and it was like plus 170. It's down to like plus 120 now. But if you parlay, and some of these books let you do it, under hits with over stolen bases with the thinking they walk him, but he's on base so he could steal a base. Some of these books are like 14-1, 12-1. So under hits for Ohtani parlayed with over a half a stolen base. I think that's a really
What about
good
the walks, Willie? Can you bet the individual
walks? The walks are juiced to hell. The walks are like, I saw one book at like minus 1350 to walk, minus 137 for 2+ walks. Is that really?
Will, don't some books do it differently where if it's an intentional walk, they don't count? So
for
you have to know
live thing, yeah. If you bet live plate appearance
in the live, Stormy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This wouldn't apply here, though.
Gotcha.
Yeah. However he gets on base is cool.
I don't even see the walks on ESPN bet. I think they took the walks off.
Hey, guys, it'll be great when they listen to this on Saturday and the series is over. That'll be awesome for this podcast. It'll be so good. So good.
Brad Paisley's doing the national anthem, so we're going 26 innings tonight.
Oh, I saw that Brad Paisley correlation thing. Every time Brad Paisley's done the national anthem, it goes extras.
He's done four national anthems, 2 18-inning games, a 10-inning game, and an 11-inning game.
Stormy, this is the kind of hard-hitting analysis that we're known for.
Who did the O Canada yesterday? Because that was interesting.
I like the girl who did it the first game. What's her name? Alexandria Essa?
I saw it last night. Why? What did you not like about it, Stormy? It seemed fine. I don't know. Well, you're making a face.
So personally, I don't want my American brethren to go against me, but I personally think that "O Canada" is the best national anthem.
Way better than ours.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land.
Stop.
I would have preferred that. To be honest with you, like go back.
Patriot love, as long as you can stand.
It's like a special needs child.
No. It was just like you're doing way too much, dude. The song is easy. Just get it out there. We don't need to make this like a pop gravelly whatever it was. It was very uncomfortable for me to watch.
Have you ever seen the Maya Rudolph SNL sketch where she does the national anthem and she does it in her best, like it just riffs every line. It's so funny.
Love.
Same sort of
love.
Thing. Okay. We'll start with the best bets. Does anybody have a bet?
What about your Thursday night?
That's what I'm doing, man.
This is Todd.
Come
on.
God bless. Focus is right. Is anybody's best bet or one of your best bets involving the Thursday night football game between the Ravens and the Dolphins?
Yes.
Oh, look at this kid.
What do we have for a total?
Well, that depends.
I'm going to try an Aaron Schatz maneuver.
I'm going to apologize ahead of time to overbetters. I like the over here. I just think that with Lamar back, and it's funny how we talked about, I think, Todd, you had over Ravens Bears last week, and it was kind of a throwaway comment by me, like, are we 100% sure Lamar's playing? I think we all kind of agreed, yeah, he's probably going to play, and then all that craziness unfolded. Lamar should be back. I would expect him to be back. I would say nothing's 100%, but I'd be shocked if he didn't play. They should get into the 30s against this Dolphins defense. And this Ravens defense is still not very good. They allowed 6 yards per play against Chicago. Chicago couldn't convert in the red zone, had to settle for 3 field goals in the game. As you know, Toddy stopped at the 1 yard line. Chicago had first and goal from the 1, couldn't get in. They are still flawed on defense. They're still really good on offense. I think the Ravens get in the 30s, which means I only need maybe 17, 20, something like that for Miami. I thought about laying the 7.5 with Baltimore. From a betting perspective, I probably like the team total over more for the Ravens, but I think, I don't know, like 35-17, 31-21. I like the over here, and we've talked about how it's just the overs have done well here because it's so easy to score with the shrinking of the field. So
what are we giving him?
50 and a half. 50 and a half.
50 and a half. And, I'll just say a little thing. I was saying nice things about Caleb and the coach the last couple of weeks. And, of course, I'm having my best NFL week. I'm 6-0, going for 8-0 because I have the teaser Bears plus 8.5 and the Bears over 21.5. And it's first and goal at the 2. And Caleb cannot get them in, including, what was that 4th down pass? The guy's standing by himself in the end zone. He whips it 45 feet next to him. Did you guys even see that?
I did. I think I said this earlier. The Caleb thing for me is there's way too high of a rate of his plays where it's like frenetic, right? So like his comfort zone is, now's my chance to scramble and make some hero play. And you can't, that's not sustainable, right? So I'm not a fan.
You know what was crazy? It's 16-13. All he has to do is throw an incomplete and punt the ball, and everything's fine. They're still in the game. He throws a pick at his own 13-yard line. I mean, Come on, Caleb. You just can't do that. This is the National Football League.
It's tough because he shows just enough flashes where you don't want to just kick him to the side and it's like an easy decision. This kid can't play. We'll move on. You worry, especially with Darnold and Jones, these other guys revitalizing their career other places. Do you really want to just get rid of him? I'm not sure, but I don't know that you can win with him. It's that kind of purgatory, that middle zone, which can be very dangerous with these guys.
And even still, it looks so much better this year than it did last year.
That's right.
So.
That's exactly right. And he's clearly improved from last year, right?
But what's the rule, Gilly? What's the rule when it's 3rd down and you run to the end zone and you put it over the end zone? It looks like you're in, but you're not in, but maybe you're in, and there's 35 seconds left and the clock's running. You don't have any timeouts. Can't they go up and do an expedited review, or is that because they didn't call it a touchdown, so you can't expedite review?
So we're told this week, which again seems like they're just making shit up as they go along, right? is unless it's clear and obvious, replay assist doesn't come into play. And I don't know if that's official or just what they're telling us now, but unless it's something that's clear and obvious, it doesn't apply. I don't know if that's right.
I thought he was in on third down. I don't know if you guys did when he like lunged for the goal line, but then the clock kept running. They had no timeouts, so they had to hurry up and do that fourth down play. And then he throws the ball 5 feet over. The guy's standing by himself. I couldn't believe it.
That was the other thing about this week in football, though. We've watched 5 bajillion games in our lives in the NFL, and then there was that play. What was the game where it was the end of the Packers game, the garbage touchdown by the Steelers, where Roman Wilson, he had 3 feet. He caught the ball. He put 3 feet down, but then the ball was knocked out of his hands. And they're like, no, that's a clear touchdown.
Right.
And I'm like, so I guess if the ground doesn't, you have to survive the ground, but you don't have to survive a human in the end zone.
At least they've mastered the ball spotting with the Hawkeye technology. What a home run that's been.
No, and then the heel thing didn't come into play, but it almost did. Remember, we were texting about the heel thing? I forget which game that was in. What game was that?
The Denver game. So if this had happened, we would have lost our minds because it's toe heel out, not a catch. But it looked like in that
that was heel toe. That was heel come down toe.
Going to be a catch. That's what it appeared.
By the way, as soon as his toe came down, I was like, that's not going to be a catch because that would have been the natural putting down of the foot.
Putting him down.
You have to, if the heel comes down and the tippy toe hits that back line as part of your natural step, that's incomplete. And so the only reason it wasn't incomplete is because that was actually his third step, which Sterator did a good job explaining on the thing. But this heel toe thing has to go. Can we just do it based on if it's in it? It's ridiculous. If you get your knee and you touch your knee and you're in, but you tap your heel, it doesn't count. Oh, sorry, you're doing a natural footstep, and everyone knows a natural footstep doesn't count when you put your heel. Can't we just do it based on it touched and that's it?
It's how it's going to end. Some play in the postseason is going to screw the team.
That heel thing just drives me crazy.
Also, to Will's point about the technology for the first downs and everything, I think people still forget that it's still a human official that's going to spot the ball where they're going to spot the ball. And that's all the technology tells us is where he put it. So it's the same thing.
So dumb.
Completely meaningless. Completely meaningless, right, Stormy? In fact, I would love if they had robots, fat white guy robots who are 65 years old, who came out, ran from different sides of the field. One guy a half a yard further in, another guy a half a yard further out, and put the ball down. We'd have a better chance of getting it.
What was the white guy part of that? What was that about?
I mean, it's not about white guys. I don't know why I threw that in, but I'm just saying my typical. If I had to say what does an NFL ref look like, it's a fat 62-year-old white guy running in from the sidelines.
They're not that fat, I don't think.
Those sideline guys can be fat sometimes.
All right, okay. Best bets time. Is that it? That was the only play in the Thursday night game.
I have a teaser leg. Does that count?
No, we'll save that one. We'll save that one. But good question. But MegaPod bylaws allow you to wait on the teaser part of that, as written by the great Todd Wishnev in 1947. All right, Stormy, you have the first best bet of the week. What you got?
Okay. I'm going to go to the last game of the week. Cardinals-Cowboys over.
Ooh.
So do we have 54?
Yes.
We have 54. Yeah, 54.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think Cowboys offense is so good and their defense is so bad. And the Cardinals, even with Brissett, are still scoring points. So I think I was looking through their game logs. The last 5 games against Denver, 68 combined points. Washington, 68. Carolina, 57. The Jets, 59. Green Bay, 80. They're 3 games at home this season. They've scored 40 plus in all of them. Dak's been great. Everything with Pickett and CeeDee Lamb. Javonte Williams is like the number 2 or 3 or 4 running back in all of the NFL right now. Their offense is humming and their defense is god awful. So if you've got one of the best scoring offenses in the league and one of the worst on defense, I know that primetime games can get weird, but I think we're going to get a lot of points. So I'm rolling with it.
Over 54 for Stormy.
And it is Murray this week again, right? Murray's expected to go.
Is he back?
I think so.
We don't know yet, really. Okay. We really don't know. I have no idea.
Does
Is
it
it
really
bad? Do they
matter?
actually like the offense better with Brissett potentially?
Yeah, it's very
Not bad at all.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. Either way.
It's a wash in my mind though.
Jeremiah and Brian, you should know that Stormy is wrecking the studio, by the way. She's
Sorry.
just cleaning up everything. It's okay.
I knocked over the table.
She got excited.
That was between us.
I'm sorry.
Why are you telling everybody?
She has a laptop and she's very prepared. And I just wanted to make sure everything's because how nice is the studio though?
It's beautiful. I walked in here. It's like you see it on TV and and it looks beautiful then. But when you actually walk in here, I feel like I'm on Howard Stern right now. It's a whole thing. It's great.
The Howard Stern
It's great.
part is coming later. Toddy, what's your first?
You know, it's funny because Stormy said that thing about the over with the Cowboys, and I feel like I don't know if you guys agree with me on this, but the one thing that the sports books almost can't handle is the high-scoring offensive team with a terrible defense in almost every sport. I feel like that's the one thing where they just can't get the numbers high enough to knock that team back. Because remember that Tampa Bay team went over like 14 out of 16 games, and I would just come in every week and go Tampa Bay over Tampa. It's the same thing when you have a terrible defense, and you see it in the NBA, you see it in college. The over with teams that are great on offense and teams that are bad on defense, the averages just can't catch up to them. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that, but it seems to me that's like the one thing in sports betting that the books can't get over on you on. If a team is really good on offense and they're really bad on defense, many of their games are going over. There's almost nothing they can do.
Because it's an artificial ceiling to the total, right? Just like in baseball, how they used to, it didn't matter what the matchup was. They would never go under 6, no matter.
Same idea. It's a great example. Right. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, who's the college basketball team? One of those teams in like the North Texas Conference. One of those
North
teams
Florida.
Yeah,
North Florida.
The
They were the
offspring.
best. They couldn't make a number high enough for North Florida. And if you watch the games on ESPN Plus, you knew why. It was unbelievable.
South Florida is kind of like that in college football where they just go so fast. You just can't take it under. Third quarter under. We do those live unders, Ty, with the first quarter and the quarters and everything. You can't take it under. They score and you're still under the number with like 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, it's like 4 more plays.
Yeah, and Stevie's like, oh, if it's 14 and a half, I won under. Stevie, sometimes it's going to go over 14 and a half, okay? Sometimes it's going to go over 14 and a half, you doofus. Okay.
Not even here to defend himself. For God's
That's all
sakes.
right. He deserves it.
I see him in the background there. I think he's in line at Starbucks.
I'm going to go with my first pick as the Atlanta Falcons. We have seen a lot of different Atlanta Falcons this year. We've seen good Atlanta Falcons. We've seen bad Atlanta Falcons. We've seen, medium Atlanta Falcons. We see all kinds of Atlanta Falcons. Now, am I concerned about who the quarterback's going to be? Sure. And if it's Kirk Cousins, I might shoot myself in the head. But if it's not, whatever. I don't care. I think 5.5. This is a classic buy low, sell high NFL spread. You've seen the Patriots cover every single game, killing people week after week after week. And now we have the Falcons coming in off of an absolute disaster that took my 2 friends here down last week in the first quarter. They knew it was dead. And it's coming. Bijan's going to go wild because the Patriots defense isn't that great. And you're going to get the plus 5.5. And if you're down 11 late, it doesn't even matter. They're getting the back door, baby. Give me the Falcons plus the 5.5.
Willie, I got to step in here. Todd, you're not going to like this. I got the Falcons too.
Me too.
We all do?
We're all going down.
We're so
We're all
toast.
going down.
Let me just add to this that I took so much incoming on guessing lines when I said I'm taking the Falcons plus the points that I'm like, oh, keep it coming. I know it's the right side now.
Load it, baby. Load the boat.
The Patriots, and I'm not taking it. People think I hate Drake May. I do not hate Drake May. I hate Scott Hansen loving Drake May so much. I also like Scott Hansen, but he loves Drake May. He slurps Drake May. But here's who they've beaten. First of all, they lost to Las Vegas, sorry, Stormy, and Pittsburgh. They've beaten Miami, Carolina, New Orleans, Tennessee, Cleveland, and the one big win they had was Buffalo. But this kind of, besides the Buffalo game, kind of represents a step up in competition. I'm taking the Falcons plus the 5.5 also.
Stormy's a 49er fan, not a Raider fan, for the record.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry. But she lives here, and
Yeah.
Who does Madison like in the football?
Food.
Catch up.
No, besides the food. Is she a team? Does she have a team?
Not yet,
Chicken
no.
fingers.
Who do the Connecticut people root for in the NFL, anyways?
They root for the teams I root for.
Which is who?
My kids root for the teams like
Vikings,
Lakers, and Yankees.
Poor kids.
Yeah.
Madison is our favorite of Will's 17 children. That's our favorite one. Is she the least well-behaved, the least behaved of the children?
That's probably not an unfair way of putting it. She can be a little, I guess it's like they call it the middle child syndrome, where you're not the oldest, you don't get all the attention, you're not the youngest. So she's a little feisty, I guess is a fair way to put it. A little feisty.
She enjoys her food, though.
Yeah, she does.
I am impressed. Love that girl. Okay. So whose turn is it then? If we're all on Atlanta, Will, did you want to add anything?
You should go again. You should go again now, and then we already put Willie down for his second, so then it'll be my second. So
Will, did you want to add any words to the Falcons, by the way, Will? You want to say anything?
No, I was going to point out the wins here for New England, like you did. Kind of a desperation spot here for Atlanta. So not much to add except typical NFL: buy low, sell high, and hopefully we get a close game here.
No team. What does Marco D'Angelo used to say on this podcast? He goes, no team's as bad as they look one week or as good as they look one week to the next. My second pick is the Denver Broncos plus 1.5 at Houston. I do not buy into whatever Texans hype you're hearing. The defense is really good, I admit, but that offense, like I don't even know if I don't know what that Niners performance was. I don't know if you know what that Niners performance was last week, but whatever it was, that did not seem to be like a legit, barometer for a team because the Niners were just out of sorts with all their injuries. I don't think the Texans can generally move the ball against anybody, and the Broncos defense, it is without Patrick Surtain. So that's why we now see the movement towards the Texans. But the Broncos played against the Cowboys, a much more vaunted offense than the Texans have, without Surtain for over a half last week. Didn't really seem to bother him that much. This isn't in the elevation. It is at Houston, so there's that. But I just think the Broncos are a better team, maybe even defensively. Maybe not with Surtain, but certainly offensively, they're way better than the Texans' offense. I like the Broncos getting 1.5. Also,
is it a great 1.5 or is it a point?
It's 1.5 from what I see. You trying to?
No, I just
out of a point?
this one. I just want to be fair.
Broncos, pick number 2.
Yeah, there's more 1.5s than ones.
Thank you.
Much more 1.5s than.
By the way, I can trust Stormy. She does it on Sunday from 12 to 1 on Sirius 158. I don't see Schatz looking at the lines on Sunday at 1 to 1. He's down there looking at TVOA from 1949, telling you about the Eagles.
First of all, it's Shots, not Shats. Let's be clear.
Oh, sorry.
He really doesn't like that. Okay.
But good call. Sirius XM channel 158, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, any of our great affiliates, Marquee Sports Network, all of it. Let's go.
Wow.
Tune in Sunday mornings.
Wow. Plug away. Anything else you're on that we didn't cover?
No.
Oh, and also,
by the way, before I give my second pick, the other thing is if you looked at the drive chart for Houston against the Niners, every drive was about a 14-minute drive, 18 plays, nothing explosive. They're not an explosive football team, so they give you opportunity after opportunity to bog down. That offense is not good. I like your pick, and I actually almost took Denver too, Gilly. So I think that's a very solid pick, and I don't like the.
I have no pick, but I'm just interested. There's a few of these guys: Penix, Bryce Young, Stroud's one of these. He's good, he's bad, he's okay. Every week I have a different opinion of Stroud. He looked good last week.
He has no offensive line, Willie. There's nobody blocking.
I don't want to skip Todd, but since my best bet is also in this game, do you want me to do it just so we can carry this over?
Stormy, for you, anything.
I apologize, Todd.
No, sorry.
I know you already didn't want me here, but just kidding. Just kidding. I'm on the under.
Just so
for
you
a
know,
lot of the.
I just want you to know that is totally not true. It's what Will Hill is saying. And now this is going to become the lore. Todd didn't want Stormy on the show, and it's going to be week after week. I'm going to have to listen to this nonsense, but go ahead.
We got this. Don't worry about it, Todd. I love you. I'm rolling with the under, though. I see 39.5.
That is what it is. 39.5.
And I know Denver dropped 44 the other day. We were just talking about how bad the Cowboys defense is, and it took them until the fourth quarter against the Giants to do anything. I'm not a big Bo Nix person in general. So against what I believe is a very good Houston Texans defense, both of these defenses, even without Surtain, I think are going to be able to handle business pretty well here. And if it is, to Todd's point, one of those things where Houston is kind of having that drag along, slower paced game because they have longer drive situations, I feel like the under is a good play. So let's go.
Under.
Yeah, what we saw from Houston offensively, I don't buy in at all. Like, there's no Fred Warner, there's no Nick Bosa, there's no Bryce Huff. It's just
that was such a. I don't know. I know the Niners have tons of injuries, but that was such a. That game to me was why the NFL is Meshuggah trying to bet this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, how is that the same team that crushed the Rams? Well, not crushed the Rams, but beat the Rams on that Thursday night
and killed me in Survivor. I was one of those.
Do you have any survivors left?
No, I'm dead.
How many did you start
Very
with?
depressing. We had 3.
Oh, is this? Were you in this going into this last week?
No, we lost all of our entries that 49ers week when they ended up beating the Rams.
That was me.
And I was mad at myself because I'm a 49ers fan to begin with. So it's already painful to be rooting against your team for your financial gain in that situation. And then my dad wanted to take Seattle that week also. And it was the shootout with the Bucks that they lost.
You could beat like us and have the Cardinals. So
yeah, you never lost with DeMarcado can't run across the freaking goal line.
But here's the thing: is I talked myself out of the freaking Colts that week, who were the no sweat easiest winner of the weekend. So I'm livid, and I know you guys are going to do your Survivor conversation later. You don't want to hear from me.
We're all out. We're all out.
We're all out.
We're all out.
Oh, come on!
I lost 5 that week. The Rams twice. And the Cardinals 3 times. What are you supposed to say after
that? Well, that 49ers game specifically, just vomit inducing because 800 things had to go right for them and 800 things had to go wrong for the Rams. It's just sick.
Too soon.
Sick.
Yeah, but at least the fumble at the 1 yard line was a legitimate fumble when the guy ran to the end zone and another guy punched the ball out. When the DeMarcado fumble is the worst fumble in the history of the National Football League. I'm sorry.
It wasn't only DeMarcado, it was a pick that
turned into an end to a touchdown.
On it.
I understand. But I'm just saying, I don't even need anything. I just need the guy to run across the goal line. It's 28-6 ball game.
I don't understand how in 2025 that still happens.
Oh.
Like, how as a player do you even do that anymore?
By the way, you're going to see it on one of your college games, Stormy, because these idiots in college go for a touchdown and they run across the 1 yard line and look back like they're doing some fancy, like I gets me so angry, even if I'm not betting on the game. The guy's like running a 15-10-5, and then he looks back and he curves across the goal line to look back and kind of like give them the business, at the 1 yard. And then a guy comes up from behind and almost makes him fumble. I saw it 3 times in the last 2 weeks, and I cannot believe this still goes on. These people should be put in jail.
So obviously that affects us from a betting standpoint, but this doesn't. I still hate it, and I'm curious how you guys feel about it. When you're down 30 and the losing team makes a big play, and they're like, first down, talking all their trash. It's so stupid.
It's so bad.
What is wrong? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. It's we just saw that with the Skins last night, right? Didn't somebody on the Skins do that down 21? It happens all the time. It's like,
so
dude,
dumb. It's embarrassing.
But that's just stupidity. Why would you need to run across? You're waited your whole life to get a touchdown, and at the 5 yard line, you have to look back, and then the guy comes behind you and tries to strip it. It literally almost happened 3 more times. I can't believe it. It makes me so angry. Angrier than Fezzik gets about Starbucks pricing.
No, not that angry.
Also, I love Fez, but I strongly disagree with his take on the food. Has he had the ham and Swiss croissant?
Oh my God!
How about the egg white feta cheese? How about the egg white feta cheese wrap is absolutely outstanding.
Wait, what? Come on, so good.
Okay, let's make that the Megapod Instagram clip, so we can just have Fezzik lose his mind. I used to like her. What's wrong with her?
The spicy falafel pocket is not bad at all.
Spicy falafel pocket? They don't have that, do they?
Yes. There's a Starbucks in the Rivers. There's a Starbucks in the Rivers, and I get the egg white feta wrap for 270 calories. You get the spicy falafel pocket for 230. You're at 500. You get a little cheese stick. You're at 580, and a little one of those fruit things, and boom.
Plus, I agree it's overpriced, but Fez, you got to get the app. If you don't have the app, I don't know what you're doing because you get all the discounts, you get the points that add up.
I'm sure he has the app. He's got the 7 stars card. He's got everything. He's got every.
His wife has the app. I'm sure.
Never. Yeah. By the way, that feta, my problem is with the feta and spinach. It's 5,000 degrees. And I don't
rookie. You go back to the sports book with your egg white. No. You take it back to the sports book with you. You wait a half a quarter, and then you eat your spice. You start with your spicy. You have to start with your spicy falafel pocket. It's not too hot. Then your egg white, and I agree with you. The egg white and feta cheese, it's very hot. You got to be careful.
What do you think? Like a dog in those videos that like sits with the food and has to like, don't touch the food, Rover.
That's why you have multiple items.
Madison would eat it hot.
Oh, Madison.
Good
What are you
point.
eating? By the way, she's thin as could be too. Okay, so Will, your second
My
is
second. He already did his second, Falcons.
no, we're snaking, right? So it's
Right.
Will's turn.
But he did his second, Falcons already. That's his second. So now it's my turn.
I'm sorry.
Why are you getting so rude, Todd?
Because I'm
So-
getting very fed up with guys running across the 1 yard line. Okay. Now, I am going to take the same game. I'm going right back to wherever they're playing this game. I believe it's in Foxborough or wherever the hell that stadium is. I'm going right back to the Atlanta game, and I'm going with, what's the total?
Jack it up a little. He probably likes the over. He likes
Yeah.
betting Patriots over.
You
it up a little
scumbags.
bit.
It's 44 and a half at Pinnacle.
47 and a half, pretty
It's
universal.
44 and a half at Pinnacle, so don't even start this nonsense with me.
Wait a minute. Wait.
DraftKings has 44 and a half, but everywhere else I see 45, 45 and a half. But
Yeah.
DraftKings is major book. They have 44 and a half.
Yeah, but that's the only book that has
What
44
about
and a half.
Pinnacle?
Well, no, the consensus line that I'm seeing is 45, let's call it.
45, whatever you guys have to do to try to stay
I'm gonna text Aaron Schatz.
You want him to
and see what
lose.
line he has.
Okay.
Aaron
Atlanta Falcons.
Schatz has 46 and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Aaron Schatz probably does. Atlanta
such-
Falcons against the New England Patriots. Here's what I've seen from this Patriot team. They're almost like a little Dallas Cowboy-ish. No defense. Now, don't give me this nonsense. Well, they stopped the Browns. That's not a real offense. They don't stop real offenses, and they give up points, and they're very hard to stop themselves. Atlanta, we know, can be sneaky on defense, but you know what? I didn't see it last week. I think Atlanta's going to go crazy on offense here this week. I just feel like the Patriots are a great over team this year, similar to like we said with the Cowboys. 45 is not that many points, and nobody's really stopping the Patriots. So I think the Patriots get their 24, and if Atlanta can get 23, 24, 23 is 47, that's good enough. Give me over 45 in the Atlanta against the Patriots.
You got that? Stormy, your third and final?
And I'm sorry for breaking the rules and going out of order. It's just, we were on a good trajectory
There
for
is.
the game. My last one is I am hoping for this bet that the train of favorites that have been covering like crazy will happen again, because I like the Lions to do work against the Minnesota Vikings this week. I know it's a big number, 8.5.
8.5.
We've seen approximately 15 good minutes of football out of JJ McCarthy. He's got a beat up offensive line. He's coming off a high ankle. So how is he going to look just in general health wise, even though he's had a zillion weeks to recover from his injury? And this is a Detroit defense that's going to be able to get after him, I think, and offensively keep running the football. The Vikings are like bottom third of the league in run defense. Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery on the other side. Their offense is averaging more than 30 points per game. Let's cover the 8.5. I'm ready.
Damn.
You're not going to believe it, but that's my third pick too.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yes.
Let's go, Todd.
And it's funny. It's funny because I had the exact same concern. Wait, every single favorite in the NFL covered last week. So you don't want to be playing favorites this week, right? That's what I'm thinking to myself. But I'm looking at this thing and I'm saying, Lions minus 8.5. If there's one team you can take that has a Lane Kiffin philosophy to running up the score, it's Dan Campbell and his Appleby Lions. They like to run up the score. So it's the only team that I am going to be willing to take a favorite this week. I'm taking the Lions minus 8.5. This Minnesota Vikings team is absolute garbaggio. The last time we saw this team, they've got a guy with half an arm on it's still running back out to being the quarterback. And who's going to be the quarterback? You guys say, oh, you don't know McCarthy's a quarterback. This guy's a quarterback. I don't care who the quarterback is on Minnesota. It doesn't matter. The team stinks. They stink on defense. They stink also on offense. Their quarterback stinks. Everything stinks about them. Now, do I like laying 8.5 in an NFL game? God, no, I hate it. But if there's one team you can be sure to do it with, you can do it with Dan Campbell, because Dan Campbell's going to go out there and he's going to order double wings. Sometimes he's going to order triple wings. He doesn't care if it's a fourth quarter. This is what we do. We give it to Gibbs and we keep running the ball, and we're going to run the damn score up. And if we have to throw it on third down up 42-0, we're going to do it. Dan Campbell, -8.5. Let's go.
Are you diagnosed, do you think, or is it a pre-diagnosis? What do you think?
I'm just very good at channeling certain NFL coaches. It's not my fault.
Will, both Stormy and Todd hate you, clearly. They hate your
I thought
team.
about going with this too. How cruel is life, though? 10 months ago, same matchup. Vikings going to Detroit at 14-2. Both teams at 14-2. The battle for the 1 seed in the NFC, the bye, everything. And here we are 10 months later. Darnold's gone. Daniel Jones on the team. He's gone. No quarterback, no hope, no future. What a mess. Oh, goodness.
And we all kind of, when we were, I remember in the offseason, like, do you keep Darnold? Do you go with J.J. McCarthy? We were all kind of undecided, right?
Most people were undecided until he basically just puked all over himself. The final 2 games at Detroit, he played terribly. Guys wide open all over the place. Defense actually played pretty well in the beginning of that game. And then against the Rams, he was a disaster. So I was like, all right, I guess this problem solved itself. We'll go to the young guy who's cheap, rookie contract. Darnold was probably just a product of the system. Probably the answer was C. Probably Daniel Jones would have taken, what did he get, 14, 15 million from the Colts? That might have been the best option of all of them.
Willie, your final one. What do you got?
What do we have for Steelers and Colts?
Or Todd's final. Whose turn is it?
It's Willie's turn.
Willie's turn. Sorry.
What are we at 3 for Steelers Colts?
Yens are looking at Acrisure and Donair. They're looking at Colts -3 and that. Maybe a little bit of juice. Gilly, do you see the same 3 down there? Have you finished your big mill you had downtown?
I see 3. Dan.
I'm going to lay it with the Colts. I faded the Steelers last week, one of the rare wins. I leaned towards the Bengals a couple weeks ago when they played the Steelers. I actually took the Steelers plus 250 to win the North a few weeks ago. I don't like what I've seen. I'm off of them. I came back with the Ravens to make the playoffs, Ravens futures, but that's beside the point here. Colts, according to True Media, number 1 in the league, explosive play rate, 14% of the plays on offense. Steelers defensively giving up the 3rd highest rate of explosive plays. I just think this is a mismatch. Again, this is a game where I probably prefer the Colts team total over because I think they get into the 30s. They seem to get into the 30s against everyone. I just don't know if Pittsburgh can stop them. I don't know if Pittsburgh can keep up. I don't love the idea of a dome team laying 3 on the road, but this might be the year finally where it falls apart here for Pittsburgh. The schedule is tough. The defense is bad. Rodgers, second half of the year, an older quarterback. Does he hold up? I'm fading the Steelers team every way I can. I'm going to lay it with the Colts.
So
go
ahead.
Gilly. I was just going to say, Jens better be careful betting that Boswell over the field goals this week, because if we're dying big, like we could be dying, I don't know, 28-7 in that. We're not kicking no field goals in that. So then you're going to take Boswell over 1.5. You're going to be sitting there, hey, where's all the Boswell field goals? And we're not getting none because we're dying too many points. So Jens just better be careful with that Boswell, especially because they really vigged up the juice. It's like -165. It's crazy.
Get him a respirator. So on guessing lines, have you heard of that show that I do on Mondays, Todd? Guessing lines on Monday morning?
I've heard it's an excellent show.
I don't think I've ever mentioned it before on this show. The bets that were triggered, by the way, 3-1 last week on the bets that were triggered on guessing lines, 2-0 the week before. This week, it was the Falcons, which I haven't bet yet because I'm hoping it gets to 6. But the 2 that I did bet are and by the way, the Niners were another one that so the 2 that I did trigger or that I have in my account are the Niners and the Colts. And so the question becomes, which of those 2, by the way, the Broncos was because the line has moved since. So which of the Colts and the Niners do I want to take now? Do I want to match with Will on the Colts? I think I do. I think I feel more confident in that one. Just like with Green Bay.
You want me to read you Will's record?
I know.
That's fucked up. Your remark last week, by the way, completely inappropriate. I know Stormy texted me. She was listening to the show. She found it very offensive, distasteful.
Mrs. Hill OnlyFans?
That was horrific. Stormy was offended by that as a female. I know that for a fact.
Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that was really
not even coming on.
Yes.
Wyatt Tomczyk, by the way, clutching his pearls to this day about that. He wanted a full apology.
I wasn't judging. If I had enough cleavage, I'd be on OnlyFans too. I'm not judging anybody.
I've seen your account on there, Todd, now that you mention it.
Please don't ask what he does.
There's a lot of football fetish guys who like to see a big guy with big cleavage, you know?
Stop. So gross. All right. I'm going the Colts -3. The same exact reason why I went the Packers last week, -3 at Pittsburgh. I just don't think Pittsburgh's that good. Yeah. And I don't understand why these superior teams I get it, they're on the road, but I don't understand why these superior teams are only giving 3. And so, like with the Packers last week, I'm taking the Colts -3. They're better every which way than the Steelers are. The Steelers' defense, by the way,
Horrible.
is a
So bad.
shell of what it once was. So bad.
Can we get Jim Bob Cooter a little more love here? He should be the assistant of the year. I think we need to mention that every chance we get.
You know, I had someone tweeted this morning and said, I haven't seen that market since I bet it. And they're kind of worried the books are going to screw them out of their number. They're like, where
what
is
do you mean? The bet was placed, though. We can't.
No, I mean, they can't. But I understand the sentiment, which is, I bet this thing in the preseason at a really good number.
Yeah.
And it's the only market I haven't seen since. What are they trying to pull one over on me? Kind of thing. By the way, a lot of that's me interpreting what they meant, but I think that's what they meant. So anyway, Colts
is with a legal book. I mean, look, if you're doing it with a PPH and you're betting that big of a number, I don't even know if PPHs have that stuff, but I mean, I bet it 200 to 1 at FanDuel. It's in the account. I mean, they can't. What can they possibly do? Boy, I would. Let's. Whew, I don't.
I have any guy to win an award plus 800 named Cooter.
It's a good number.
What was I going to say now? Oh, middle of the show today, Will. You'll appreciate this. I'm talking about something, God knows what. Kelly's doing whatever Kelly's doing. All of a sudden, I hear this bing in the middle of the show. I'm like, oh, he's betting at Cade. There you go. The whole that ding that happens when you bet.
Oh yes,
it's so great. I'm like, I know what he's doing. Okay, that's it, right? Teaser time.
Teaser time.
Stormy, your two-leg, two-team, 6-point teaser of the week is?
Well, considering I like the Lions -8.5, why wouldn't I like a -2.5?
Why wouldn't you?
So that's one leg paired with the Ravens -1.5 at Miami on Thursday night. Let's go.
Oh,
Wait,
Thursday
Lions
night.
-2.5. What was the other one?
Ravens -1.5.
Ravens -1.5. Okay. We
I
need
like
some winners, guys, on teasers. We're struggling.
Yeah,
on
I
teasers.
suck so bad on these teasers.
So I feel like how Will was saying earlier, I started the season really strong with teasers, and then last week just brutalized. And I think it's big because I liked teasing some of these dogs up, and all of the favorites keep coming through the way that they have. So now I'm a little bit anxious that I picked 2 favorites to tease down, that we're going to get the reversal of everything now. Coming
what
up
could
this
go
week.
wrong?
But I like this one. It looks really good on paper, guys.
That's right.
Looks really good on paper.
Toddy, what do you got?
I'm gonna go with the Bronconians. They're getting, if you're getting 1.5 in the game, that means I'm getting 7.5 on the teaser. So I'm getting the Bronconians plus 7.5. I just don't believe Houston. I know they won by 11 against San Francisco, but that was actually kind of misleading. I don't even really think they're ever going to beat a real good team like the Broncos plus 7.5. I mean, that's a lot of points, especially in a low scoring game. So give me the Bronconians plus 7.5. And let me pair that with the Arizona Cardinals plus 8.5. Is that correct? Is that what I get? Cardinals plus 8.5?
That's correct. That's what you get.
And the reason for that is just when you don't have a defense, it's very, very tough to win by margin in the NFL, because we all know they could be down by 15. They get the touchdown and they go for 2 and they make it. And then, you get the backdoor cover. So give me the Cardinals plus 8.5 with the Broncos plus 7.5.
Todd, here's the thing with microphones. Usually to hear yourself, you must speak into them.
I was talking right into them. What was that?
Now you put you're like over here.
Broncos plus 7.5, Cardinals plus 8.5. Can you hear that?
Okay. I knew I was getting that. I knew that was coming. Will?
I'm gonna go with Stormies. I like Stormies. I was trying to be different, maybe throw the Bills in there, but I, unlike Todd, like Stormy, like when she comes on this podcast, and I think that's a great teaser. So
I hate Stormy, and I hate when she's on ESPN. I turn the channel off. I can't stand it. The Dave Fleming throws it down to her.
Mute. Get her off my screen.
Todd enjoys a more Semitic woman when he's watching his football.
That, by the way, of all the things you've ever said, that is for sure not true.
That's phenomenal. Okay, Broncos, Lions. That's me. Broncos, Lions.
Wait,
Broncos
what is Willie? What is Willie? Lions minus 2.5 with what?
I thought he did
Ravens.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Broncos, Lions for me, Todd.
Broncos, Lions for
Lions down to 2.5. Broncos up to 7.5.
7.5 and 2.5. Okay.
All right. For those who are still involved in Survivor, which I am not, it's too soon. I don't want to talk about it. But there's like massive big favorites this week. So there's 6 favorites above 3.5 points. The Ravens and Falcons are the ones I wouldn't play because they scare me. Ravens Thursday night on the road. There's better places to play them. Patriots, pardon me. Patriots, there's better places to play them. And
Rams.
Well, hold on, Todd. I'm talking about the 6 that are above. So the 2 I wouldn't play are the Falcons and the Ravens. The Patriots and the Ravens. Why do I keep saying that? Patriots, Ravens. The 2 that I wouldn't hate you for playing, but I still don't think are the best choices are the Chargers on the road. They always scare me. Who are 10-point favorites against the Titans. And because if you're in Circa Survivor, you kind of might need them later for their Thanksgiving quirk is the Lions. Maybe you need them, the Lions on, if not Thanksgiving, you can play the Lions. Well, they're also Christmas at Minnesota. You may want to keep them for that. Plus week 12.
Don't they play the Giants?
Yeah, week 12 hosting the Giants, week 14 hosting the Cowboys. By the way, the Chargers, they do host the Raiders on November 30th, but I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't hate you if you played either the Lions or the Chargers, but I think the 2 best are the biggest favorites. I think this is the one week where you don't go too cute. Green Bay is a 12.5-point favorite hosting Carolina. They do play at Detroit Thanksgiving, but I doubt you're saving them for that in Circa. They do play at the Giants week 11. They play host Minnesota week 12. They host Chicago week 14, but I don't know. I'd still play them here hosting Carolina. And then the Rams is the most obvious of the obvious. They're 13.5-point favorites hosting the Saints, who have Tyler Shuck starting at quarterback. And the only other place to play the Rams is November 30th at Carolina, and I actually think this matchup's better. So Rams first, followed by the Packers. Those are the top 2. Then if you must, the Chargers, Lions. I would not play the Ravens or the Pats. But that's just me. What do I know? I'm out. And I'm also out multiple times. So even if I didn't get eliminated that one week that I did, I would have had some entries on the Falcons and the Bengals this past week. So at the very most, people are like, oh, I should have gone max entry. I did 6.
Yeah.
Even if I had started with 10, at the most, I would have 1 left at this point.
So you're up 4,000.
I'm up 4,000?
Yeah, 6 instead of 10.
Oh, that's right. I'm up 4,000 by your math. That's correct. I'm up 4,000. Okay.
I agree though. The Rams, it's if you have them available still,
Yes.
this is the week for it. And if Tyler Shuck couldn't beat out Spencer Rattler for the job, what's he really going to do? Are you scared? I don't think so.
What I remember, what was your comment about Tyler Shuck in college? That he was just like the most injured guy?
Yes.
Yes.
That's why I don't understand how you draft a guy coming off of Derek Carr, who had all of the injuries, to like the most injured quarterback prospect you could possibly get. His last year was the first time in his career, which was lengthy, that he played more than 7 games. It's crazy.
And that's their guy.
Yeah.
So he gets his first start after 7 years of college.
He can't
football.
even spell his last name. It's SH, or I don't even. He has OUGH. It's not Shuck. It should be CK if it's Shuck.
Todd prefers a Semitic girl. I don't know why that makes me laugh so much. I'm sorry. It's just
First of all, I like a darker meat, not a Jewish meat. Veg meat.
okay. All right. Any whoosies. All right.
What do you mean by that, Todd?
Years, multiple times.
Final 2 questions of each and every Megapod. The first of which is, which of the big favorites, this is a good one this week, which of the big favorites, Stormy, is the most likely to lose outright? I come to you from the future and I say, which of these teams, here are your candidates, the ones we just mentioned, Ravens, 7.5-point favorites at the Dolphins, Patriots, 5.5-point, well, you can't use the Patriots, let's throw them out. So let's do it this way. Ravens, 7.5-point favorites at the Dolphins. And the other ones I mentioned, Packers, 12.5-point favorites hosting the Panthers. Lions, 8.5-point favorites hosting the Vikings. Chargers, 10-point favorites or thereabouts at the Titans. And, of course, the Rams, which we just mentioned, 13.5. Now it's teeter on 14. 14-point favorites. So apparently the move from Rattler to Shuck moved it a little bit. Which of those 5, in your opinion, is the most likely to lose outright?
Well, I hope it doesn't happen because it's one of my teaser legs, but I would say of that group, the Ravens, just because, Miami came out of the woodworks this past week. Let's say their offense is still doing well. Lamar Jackson coming off the hamstring. We know how those soft tissue injuries can be if he gets banged up in the game or something like that and isn't fully upset. There is a script with which I could see that happening. Thursday night primetime games, things can get weird. You never know. But that seems like And I don't think it's going to happen. But of that group, I would say that is the most likely in my mind.
I agree. Got to be the Ravens, right? Because first of all, we're not 100% sure it's Lamar, but Thursday night can be squirrely anyway.
Wait, I'm hearing something. The
Oh, no.
score 25-16. Steelers down 9. Here's Aaron Rodgers with 12 seconds left. He still has the helmet on that doesn't seem to fit his head, Jim. I don't know why they can't get him a normal helmet. Anyways, 25-16, 12 seconds to play. He looks in the back of the end zone of Freiermuth, 1 foot down. Wait, it's a heel. It's a toe. It's a heel. Maybe it's a toe. Touchdown, Steelers. And the Steelers are going to lose by 2 and cover the spread. Holy cow. Willie and Gilly go down again.
Paul Popovich on Twitter. If Todd got any closer to the camera, we'd be seeing up his nostrils.
Final score 26-24.
I'm sorry to interrupt the broadcast. I'm sorry.
Jim,
Okay.
what did you think about that?
I wish we did have a call, though, that actually said the spread like that.
Yeah.
Can you lose the game but cover the
Stormy,
spread?
it's just you and me talking. Can you believe that VSiN for 8.5 years has kept this guy off as a regular on VSiN? Can you believe that?
I need this in my life every day.
Thank you.
Every
very
day,
much.
even though he
Stormy,
doesn't.
there are very bad forces aligned against me, and they want to keep America from enjoying the entertainment that Showtime, a huge network bigger than VSiN will ever be in their entire lives, plucked me out of the audience to be on their goddamn docuseries. And no, I'm not good enough for VSiN. Oh, tell me again, Showtime. I was on after Billions 4 weeks in a row, April 2019.
Willie, most big favorite, most likely to lose outright is?
I'm learning so much today.
Yeah. It's a
I'll
lot.
go Detroit just because I have so much respect for Flores that I could see him, turning Goff over a couple of times. Vikings still have a lot of offensive talent. Maybe they get a little healthier here with the 10 days off. I don't really believe it, but O'Connell's completely overrated, by the way. But Flores is a really good coach. Lions.
He is. How's he not a coach again? Because of what happened in Miami?
Because he kind of squealed on his owner that, once you take private conversations and you say, hey, we're trying to lose games, and you start, the owner's just not going to trust you. If, hey, if I'm telling you something in private and you're bringing it out in public, does that guy, you want to hire that guy? He did a good job. He's a good coach. But
And he was mean to Tua, right?
And he was mean to Tua. he was mean to Tua. That's true. I think he's the head coach next year, though. I have a feeling he's the head coach next year. Todd, did you take Baltimore, or who did you pick on that?
No, I want Chargers to lose just because they're the name of the team is Chargers. So,
It's not about who you want. Who do you think?
I think that the Chargers the Titans are going to accidentally win a game here sooner or later. And I could see the Chargers being just because
they've been so close recently. I know.
They're so close. Every week. Well,
they won the DeMarcado game, didn't they?
He's talking about the Titans.
Arizona lost it. I don't know if they won it. Arizona lost it.
I saw a stat today, Todd, that Cam Ward's numbers are actually worse than Will Levis's.
Oh, that's impossible.
And that feels. I mean, I just wanted to.
That's not really true. I mean, that might be statistically true. And here's the thing: if you watch first of all, the problem is that they can't block for him. They have no one to throw to. It's a whole disaster. But you have to be honest. Will Levis, you watch those games. I don't care what his numbers say. Cam Ward is going to be a better quarterback than Will Levis.
Well, I no disagreement, and I'm a huge Cam Ward fan. I was just looking into some stuff earlier, and that popped a little bit for me.
Are you sad you brought it up now that he jumped down your throat with it?
No, she agrees. Stormy agrees with me.
That Todd would do.
Stormy, you agree with me that Cam Ward has talent.
Yes.
You could see something is there, even though
that's a bold take, Todd. The number one pick in the draft has talent. That's we'll clip that for Instagram too.
But the Will Levis thing, I mean, he just kept throwing pick sixes. I mean, that's
the guy had a national mayonnaise commercial without doing anything. I mean, you should not be hawking condiments prior to showing that you're an NFL starter. That's all I'll say.
He ate a banana with the peel on just because he liked it.
Will
There's
Levis,
something wrong there.
Yeah, it's very
that
odd.
is gross.
All right, final question, Stormy. We live in a bizarre world. Mm-hmm. You must bet a side on every single game, but you get one free pass, one game that you want no part of. Wouldn't even bet it with someone else's money. What game would that be?
I think it would be the Titans and Chargers.
Titans and Chargers.
Nothing to do with it.
I think that might be mine too. Toddy? What do you got?
I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jagoffs against the Las Vegas Raiders. How the hell do you know what you're going to get from these idiot teams?
Those are two excellent choices. And the Jaguars will commit 5 mental errors during the game, so they'll keep the Raiders in it.
Of course.
Yeah. Will?
Seahawks are better than the Commanders, but the Commanders at home getting points, kind of playing for their season. Daniel's probably back. I thought about Washington, then I thought about Seattle. That's a pretty easy pass for me.
Is Terry McLaurin insane? Have I been exaggerating all these years? I get it that Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are younger and more dynamic, but if you could only have one play where you needed a catch in traffic, who are you going with?
Chris Carter.
Okay, that's a good answer. I'm going with I think I'm going with Todd's, which is the Jaguars and the Raiders. I have no idea, but Stormy's is great too, which is the Chargers and Titans. 10 points. First of all, I guess that's so much lower on guessing lines. Little show I do on Monday, Todd. And the fact that it comes up now and it's 8.5 and some places 10, I'm like, I still not going to bet the Titans. There's no chance I'm betting it, but I think that line.
Well, let me tell you, if they're down gigantic, if they're down 30 late, they will get a touchdown late. They're pretty good down 30.
Or they punt, one or the other. All right. We've done all we can do. There it is. Let's try to have good records this week. How about that? Let's try to do it.
Hope I can bring some positive vibes. Let's
Stormy,
go.
where are you going to be Saturday night when Dave throws it down to you?
Good
I will
question.
be at Boston College, Notre Dame at Boston College, coming up Saturday, 3:30 Eastern on ESPN.
Catholics versus Catholics.
That's right. Catholics
Well
versus
played.
Catholics. What is your favorite place that you've ever gone to college football wise?
Ooh, there are a few really good ones. Oh, a lot, but I think my favorite, just because of the surrounding fanfare, is at Tennessee. Rocky Top is really cool with the Vol Navy and the sailgating they have outside. It's a very special environment, especially when they're good. So I think that's probably the first one that comes to mind.
Do you get to enjoy it? Are you there long enough to enjoy some of it?
If you have one that's in like the later portion of the day, yes. If it's an early game, then no. But every now and then, like, our crew, when we roll up, instead of going straight up to the booth, we'll walk out to the tailgate.
Nice.
See if someone will give us food. We like that. If you're listening, please give us food.
And how far in advance do you know your assignment? The week of?
Yes. So every now and then we'll find out the Thursday before, but more often than not, I will do my game on Saturday night, wake up Sunday morning, and be on my plane when the email pings me for where I'm going to go the next week.
Oh, that's cool. That early. I was wondering about little things like this.
That early, that late.
Well, I thought you said you're leaving the one venue and you already know your assignment for the next week.
So Saturday I'll do the game. Sunday morning when I'm coming back here to hustle for the VSiN show, that's when I'll find out where I'm going that week.
Oh, okay.
So
you're right.
It's 6 days that I'll know.
So relatively speaking,
Yeah.
I think another one of those kind of questions would be, if you're a sideline reporter and you're out there for hour upon hour, how do you go to the bathroom?
Oh, geez.
There are restrooms in the tunnels, sometimes only porta potties, which something my very first boss in this industry told me, though, any opportunity you have to eat or go to the restroom on a game day, take it. So I try to do it as early as possible when we get there in the press box, and then I don't have to worry about it the rest of the time.
And a little
maybe
insight,
no follow-up questions to that, Todd. Maybe we'll
everybody wanted to know.
a little insight into your bladder. A good one that holds, or kind of you got to go
Didn't
there.
Lamar Jackson almost make in his pants one game? Remember,
come on.
he had to go out in the middle of the game and run in the tunnel or something. Don't you remember that?
Yes. And I'll tell you, there have been so many instances where I've seen an important player runs off the field, goes to an injury tent, and I'm like, oh no, what's wrong? And I'm staking out somebody peeing. So,
What's wrong with you?
part of the job.
Was
I
it your
wasn't
business?
sure where that was going, but that was a successful landing of the plane, at least.
Yes. We'll end it on that note.
You're welcome, world.
Stormy Buonantony, everybody. On Twitter, what's your Twitter handle?
At Storm Buonantony, know why? We ran out of characters.
Ran out of characters, so you decided to drop the Y.
Drop the Y.
Are you active on Twitter? Do you say a lot on Twitter?
More of a retweeter
Okay.
on Twitter, but I'm very active on Instagram stories. If you want to follow me there, I post a lot of behind the scenes stuff when I'm traveling, and that's at Stormy, but with 3 S's. So it's like
Post a lot of pictures with her stepmom, if I might say so.
Oh.
she's a looker, so got to get her out there so I can get my followers up.
Do you like her
She's
step?
not a looker.
Oh. Not a looker. Will,
Thanks, Will. I'll let her know.
the
I
final
don't know
shout.
what that inside joke means, guys. I have no idea.
I don't either, but I'm going to check after this.
Yes.
We're gonna find out. Thanks for listening. Good luck with all your bets week 9 in the National Football League. Thanks for listening.